This Simmons here checking in today. I got another special one for y'all. I got Miss Monica up here joining me. She actually just bought a kit last month. She got her first contract this month, so I figured I'd have her on so she can kind of share some tips with you guys on her experience, especially for my new people on the fence, like wondering if this is the right move for them. So I want to welcome you. How you doing, Miss Monica?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. So let's just go ahead and jump right. First off, congratulations on your first contract.
Thank you.
Like I know you were nervous.
Oh, very.
Yeah, we talked like what maybe a week ago
Yes.
about that contract, and like I could kind of feel the anxiousness too. Like a couple weeks before that, we spoke, and you were kind of getting a little anxious. You was like, I can't get my first one. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So it's good to see that you finally got one. And I wanted to know, like first off, like what was your experience prior to getting the actual starter kit? Like what was your experience?
My first experience is, well, let me give you a little background. I quit my job.
Okay.
That was mistake number one. Don't quit your job until you know what you're doing. I quit my job. I had a good little job or whatever, but I was just tired and I wanted to be my own boss. And I was just fed up and I said I quit. But establish something before you do that, some type of income. I just had a little money put back that I could kind of work with. But don't quit until you are in a position where you feel like you can. I mean, if it's hindering you, find something else, but whatever, but don't lose income.
Gotcha.
So I quit my job. I started out trying to do this all by myself. I was grabbing contracts. I was burning myself out. I was trying to market, clean, and do all that. That was mistake number two. So I had to restart over, reprogram everything, and I started seeing you on, I don't know, somehow you just magically popped up. I don't know. I said it was God. And I was like, let me see what he's talking about. And so when you were talking about the franchises at first, so I went and visited, then you was like, oh no, don't do it. And when I went, they wanted so much royalty fees, like 20%. Jam Pro wanted 20%. Cover I wanted like 15%. Matter of fact, Jam Pro wanted 23%. I think because they wanted to, if you don't get paid, that insurance thing, whatever scam. But anyway, so I decided not to do it because you said do that. The number three mistake I did was I wasn't pushing hard enough. I go out and I do a little bit, and so as I got to watching and got into CBN, then I started seeing people getting out there and getting the money, and so that's when I decided to buy the starter kit.
Okay. So you didn't have prior cleaning experience before this?
I did do some. I had a best friend. She has a business, so I went up there and helped her. But I've done some business with cleaning, but never to the extent where it was just on my own. No.
Gotcha. That's what's up. Yeah. So did you have how many walkthroughs did it take for you to do before you finally got one?
All the way to the end, I bought 11.
Right.
Yeah, I bought 11.
Okay. So all the walkthroughs you had came from us? Oh wow! Okay, so I thought you were getting some of those on your own. We were rolling.
Yeah, I did. I did a couple on my own, but the first few I did, I walked in. I was nervous. One thing I want to say: if you're not nervous about what you're doing, then you might be doing something wrong. Every step that I make, I'm nervous now. I'm finna start this contract. I'm like this, right. But I'm nervous. But it's a good nervous. But I walked in my first walkthroughs. I walked in and I was like, "Hi, yeah." I was really shy. I was in, out. I really wasn't talking. But as I got to going through the walkthroughs, my confidence builded. I walked in there like, I knew what I was talking about, knew what I was doing. And then a lot of people started to give me more conversation, or I started asking more questions. And that's how I had to build myself. So if it do take you that many, it's fine, but it's also giving you the experience, because that's what it gave me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think I went and walked through the other day with one of the members from the group just to kind of help him out, because he was kind of at that borderline too. And so he was a little closer to me. So if you were close, I would have came out to you too and tried to do the walk.
I would have been blowing your phone. I'd be like, hey, Regina, AJ, somebody help me.
Right. But yeah, so I went down to Orlando. I went to this walkthrough with him, and I noticed like that was his problem too, is just being more timid, I guess. Like, because when we finished the walkthrough, he was like, man, you make it look so easy. And I told him it is. It is. It really is. It's just simply they've showing you, what their problem is, and you walking through. Only difference between, me and a new person might be is just I appear to be confident. That's it. Walking there, smiling, looking them in the face and shaking their hand and ask a few questions. But for the most part, I mean, it's pretty straightforward when you really get down to it. All right, so other than that part, like maybe not opening up more, did you? What other mistake? Is there any other mistakes you think you made like along the way?
A couple of my walkthroughs, I went in and I had on my little t-shirt and my jeans, and I realized that that wasn't good. I went to Buckhead like that, and I wasn't thinking like, duh, you know what I'm saying? You're going to a prestigious part of Atlanta, you need to be dressed apart. And so when I spoke to the gentleman, I mean, he gave me some great advice, and everything. Kind of like he was like, well, you look mom and popish. We don't want to fool with you. Be a little bit more professional, and then you may, people may look at you seriously. So I was like, wow, I didn't think about that. So go in there dressed for success. Go in there casual business, nice shirt, nice slacks, casual, whatever it is. But just try if you can. Don't go in there with your work clothes. So that was a mistake. I'm also learning. This has taught me how to be punctual because I am the person that they have to tell me before time so I can be on time. But I've been actually probably about 15, 20 minutes early to my appointments. And so a lot of times they have you sit down. And so then when you're sitting down, I'm writing down what I see, what's wrong. Like, ooh, that fixture's dirty, or they didn't do the ledge or the corners or the baseboard. I mean, those are the things that I write down, and then I point them out to them when I'm talking to them about, their cleaning or whatever.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And I know one thing that you did that was key was you got the contract budget, like the current budget. So I want to know like, how did you ask? Did you ask that? Did they just freely offer it to you? Like, how were you able to get that budget?
Well, she freely offered it to me. She told me that Jan Pro came out, and she said they came out, they gave her a budget. I mean, what they were going to do. She's, I'm going to send you the whole thing. Just look it over. So I'm looking it over, and I'm like, man, and I did the calculations on my own, and I was like way off. I don't know what I was thinking about. I'd have been crying. And so I was like, okay, let me call AJ, because this, and so when I told you that they sent this, and then, I was like, I was looking at, I think I was looking at like 1,100, 1,300 or something like that. And you was like, no, if Jan Pro is bidding at 14, was it 1449 or 1450? Just hit right up under them. Now I wish I would have went 1425, 14,
right,
something else, but she took it, and I mean, I got it for 1,400. And so my nervousness, because it's going to be kind of like complex. I'm gonna talk to you about that, but because it's 7 days a week, and so, but she was fine with it. I mean, and I all of the things that Jam Pro had in their packet, I'm like, man, I ain't got all of this badges and this, that, and the third or whatever. She ain't gonna choose me, but she did. And so I start July 2nd.
Good. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. But I do want to tell people, don't give up, because I was about to give up. I got a job offer that would have killed everything. I would have been back on the page that I was, but I was gonna be working 8 to 5. The lady was willing to work with me. She was like, just give me a good year and a half. And then I got to think, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna just forget it. I'm done. But then I got to calculating how much money I done put in this business. And then I got to thinking like, okay, well, a year from now, you're gonna be in the same boat.
Right.
Hang in there.
Definitely. And one thing too about that bid, one thing I think you might have been doing, I don't know, but I'm just guessing because that's what I used to do, was you'll calculate how much you would accept to clean it. It's like, if I could just get, if I could I'd take an extra $1,200 a month to clean this.
Right.
When you're looking at it from your perspective and what you would do, but you have to look at it from the perspective of how much do I need to receive from this contract in order for the business to make some money and to pay somebody else to do it. So just something to throw out there for the new people, listening to this, who don't really know how to bid, is like, think about what the business can make and not how much you'll be willing to accept. So just something to throw out there. But
yeah, I mean, we're gonna make mistakes when we bid. I
still do it.
There's no perfect bid. I mean, you may underbid, you may overbid and kill yourself, and but it's a lesson. Each lesson you learn, and then it just go back to the books, and you just see, what did I do wrong? Because it may not even be you, it may be the company. The company may be cheap.
Right.
You know, and they might want to take like I'm on the apartment move outs and move ins here. I've been getting beat out because people are doing them for the low. You know, I mean, they're doing them like $55, you know, $45, you know, whatever. And I'm like, I can't. I did that on my first contract. The guy was paying me $55 a apartment, and they were horrible. The ones that's on my website, those were the ones I did for $55.
Wow.
I quit. You know what I mean? I tried to negotiate, but he didn't want to negotiate. That's what he wanted to pay. And I'm like, I'm worth more than that, you know, and I walked away from that. And I could have been his person because he liked the way I did, but he just didn't want to pay. So don't short yourself either. That's number, whichever number it is. Just don't short yourself. Don't sell yourself short. If you got to go a little bit under, that's cool, but don't go down there and because I burnt myself out. I had to regroup. I thank you, AJ, because you helped me regroup.
Thank you. Yeah, so let me ask you this: for now that you got the contract, like, what do you have an idea how you kind of want to approach it? Do you have any people on standby? Have you started interviewing workers? Like, how you kind of going to tackle it?
I posted on Department of Labor. But you know, I'm waiting on them to approve it. But then I'm gonna go. I'm posting it on my page too. It's 7 days a week. I don't expect nobody to work 7 days a week, so I'm gonna hire 2 people. I'm gonna flex the schedules, 4 and 3, and then they have every other weekend off. My main issue I'm trying to figure out is how am I going to compensate them for holidays? You know what I mean? Because you know, and I want them. You know, my requirements is that you have reliable transportation. You got to have a cell phone, reliable. I mean, I can call you on your cell phone if I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, that's grounds because I need to be able to contact you. You know, especially 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. You know, I need to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do, and that you're there.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, that's my thing. Just doing the rotating of the schedules. I've had some people reach out to me to do my payroll. I'm like, man, I ain't there yet. You know, so you know, and to pay, I guess to have them pay me by credit card or debit card. I had somebody else reach out to me, to do that. They wanted me to pay like $67 a month, and I'm like,
Right. Yeah. Again, we'll talk inside the group about that or offline or something because you don't need that. Yeah, there's other ways to accept credit cards without going to the bank. It was one thing. Oh, so I noticed one thing that you said, and it stood out to me. I want to point this out for the listeners too. You had a savings, and I know you mentioned it before, but I think it's very important because you were strategic with it. You know what I mean? Like when you just jump out here and you did kind of jump out here, but at least you had a cushion, and sometimes like me, I jump out there and I ain't have a cushion. And you know what I mean? That's why I went through so many hardships. And not saying that you won't go through some hardships, as business.
mm-hmm.
I think that it helped you to be a little bit more flexible. It helped you to be able to not quit, and give in when you got that new job offer. And I think it helped you a lot. So that's huge. Just that alone, I think, took you a long way. And then also you were disciplined with it. Like when people are making you those offers, and you could have looked at it as, oh, it's only $67 a month. Yeah, I'm gonna need to accept credit card. But you thought about them like, you know what, I'll be out there. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
put that out.
Because I want the money that I get from the contract that I got. I wanted to be a part of the business, but I'm already shutting off for insurance, and stuff like that, so I definitely, I grabbed that because a couple of people have been asking, hey, do you got insurance? So I said, let me grab it, just to have it because now I'm on my game now. I don't have to, I can just send it right to you right now. I got to download on my phone. Let me email it to you right now. And so, but I don't know. All these people coming at me, and I guess that's because I'm leaving my cards everywhere, and so they're like, hey, you need help. I'm like, no, not right now, but I got them in mind, so
Right.
I guess one of my things too is to tell people also, as far as when you don't, I went in working, like I said before, I went in working by myself. I'm not doing that anymore. Okay. I don't want to be self-employed. I want to be a business owner. So that means that I got people and I need people to work for me, and I just have to take that crumb or that slice of bread instead of that loaf of bread until I build myself up. So That's one of the things I tell people. I talk to people all the time. They ask me, and I tell them, don't go in, don't work.
Right.
Don't work. Don't go in there. Do it if you have to. But don't go in there, because I was thinking on this contract. Well, I had somebody work 5 and then I work 2 days, because that would save me money. But then I'm like, nah.
Right.
Nah.
That's not, you know, like if you go on there 2 days a week and then you have a worker going there 5 days a week. I mean, yeah, that's convenient, but it's not a system. You know, if you try to sell your business tomorrow to somebody else, they might not want to work those 2 days. You know, so those type of things that we got to think about as small business owners, so we can become big business owners. So
right.
All right, but in concluding though, I want to get any last feedback, like as far as the people, because it sounds like you pretty much have gotten good results from getting your cleaning business starter kit from us. I want to know, do you got any feedback you want to leave? Do you want to share any advice for anybody that's thinking about getting starter kit, but they on the fence, they don't want to do it? You go ahead and have the floor and share your experience.
I think that, the starter kit, for one, is a great investment, because you got all of these modules and all of those things that you can go back to and look at. But even if you do not have the funds, you can still buy the lead generation, and that helps you out. But it's also in that, you learn how to create your own lead generation. So now once you see how they're working, now you know how to work your system. And so I think that the starter kit is good. I mean, the equipment came fast. Y'all was on it. Y'all, it was like, hey, you got another package coming, and all that. So, I mean, the equipment is good. I mean, the lead generation is good. The modules are great. It's a great starter. I mean, don't go on a franchise, because they're not going to teach you these things. I've talked to several people in the franchise, and I'm hoping that they're going to come over to you, but they're not learning what you're teaching in the franchises. They're not at all. And so the starter kit, if you're on the borderline, don't quit. Keep pushing. Find your niche. I might be going into restaurants, and I don't even want to do that, but that's what seemed like that's what's coming at me. And so, find your niche. I'm trying to do, I call them squads. I want to have a kitchen squad. I want to have apartment squad, residential. I want to have all of these different settings, but I just have to get situated. But don't overpower yourself. Don't overthink. Take your time. I mean,
That's it. That's what's up. All right. Thank you, Ms. Monica. I appreciate you so much for coming up here, taking the time out to share your experience with everybody, because you didn't have to. So I truly appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all.
No problem.
CBN, man.
Definitely CBN. And I'll talk to you in the group too. We're going to strategize on that contract. And
okay.
Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.